pretty chilly here today, so I'm just going to get on and make a coffee. Got some Ricorate. This is classic French off-grid coffee, I think we can say. I'm not a black coffee drinker. I never have been. I don't think I ever will be. This stuff is chicory with some milk. Super easy to prepare, and yeah, I live off the stuff. And it comes in a mouse-proof tin. That's the other bonus. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty disgusting. We're a long way from artisanal coffee, has to be said. But it does the job. It does the job. What else have I got? I have got 2 pain au chocolat. Life wouldn't be right in France if we didn't have a pain au chocolat in the morning, frankly. My life wouldn't be right anyway. On the menu for lunch is some leftover pizza from the local pizzeria last night. Super cheesy. I'm going to be reheating that on the gas fire inside. As soon as I've had my coffee, I'm going to get in, get the fire on, and when I'm ready, I'm just going to sling that on the top. I've had to have a bit of a rethink about the next few months, and it's a little bit depressing because all I want to do is be here and be doing this. But, you know, real life is still turning, and I've spent the summer here. It's been really one of the nicest summers of my life doing this project. I've absolutely loved it. But I have got to pay for the windows. I have paid for the roof. I've also got to pay for electricity. I need to get some kind of solar panel set up in place, which to do something reasonably good size and good quality that's going to give me 10 or 15 years use, it's going to cost a bit of money. I've got to pay for all the plasterboard. I've got kitchen, bathroom, flooring. That's for the cabin. Then in here, I'm hoping to do most of it second hand, so it won't be that much, but I've also got to dig in water pipes. I need to sort out some kind of sanitation for the used water from the kitchens. There's quite a bit of digging to do, so I've just had to have a bit of a realisation that unfortunately I need to go back to work. So I started on the going back to work process this week. My main job is selling houses, and it's actually been quite a difficult market this year because we sold loads of houses after COVID, and even in the last 12 months, even with the Ukraine war going on, we've still been selling a lot. And a lot of people that have got second homes in this area that would normally have sold have held on to them. So there's really not very much for sale, and so I have got nothing for sale right now. I don't have a salary if I don't sell, and so I need to basically put time into getting some houses on the market. And at this time of year, it's quite often I haven't got much left. You know, it's the end of the summer. I've had a good run, and the deals that I've done are all basically now coming to fruition or have already been paid. I've had a lot of problems with one of our cars this summer, which has cost me a fortune, and I've just put it for sale. I've managed to get it back, it's fixed, and we're selling it. But the money that I put into my new van, which has been super practical and I don't regret it at all, that money was sort of put aside for the windows. So I really need to get on now and put a pipeline of work in, so that next spring, when the weather gets better again, I can be back here again. And that is really my main motivation, to have a summer next year like the summer I've just had, really enjoying being here and trying to bring to fruition all the other ideas I've got. Every time I do something, I get 30 new ideas, and every time I get a bit better at building and get some new skills, I realise how much more I can do on my own if I just invest the time and energy into learning and practicing and being confident doing it. So yeah, I don't want to go back to work, but I need to. I need to get 6 months in now between, so we are coming to the middle of November, right through until, I would say, end of March. I'm going to need to put in probably 20 hours a week at work, which doesn't sound like a lot, but I'm also managing and letting our house, which has 3 gîtes in it. Over the summer it's been mad busy, and even up until last week it was really busy with the school holidays, which is really fantastic. But all of that takes a bit of a toll. We've not had any time off this year at all either, which I'm not complaining about. And you know, there's the dream, there's coming and being here and doing just what you want to do every day, and then there's the reality, which is sooner or later you got to pay for stuff, and the materials have continued to go up all year. They are continuing to go up all the time. So on the one hand, I sort of feel under pressure to get on and buy materials, knowing that it's going to cost me more money next year if I don't. For example, the solar. I think solar is going to explode in the next year, 18 months with the energy prices. I mean, it already has gone up. Batteries and the kits and everything. But at the same time, I don't want to rush ahead until I've really invested the time in learning about systems and really understanding how it works. I'd like to just pay someone to come and do it all, but at the same time, I think the time that you invest in learning how it works means that when there's a problem with it, you're really going to understand how to sort that problem out. So I'm just not there yet. I'm just not able to commit the time to learning. So I'm not going to rush in right now and order anything else. I need to get my installation finished, which is not a motivating job, but whatever. I've got the materials. I've got quite a number of rails as well to put the plasterboard up. I don't know how to do that really, so I can learn that and move on. But I've got 3 days now, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I'm going to try and come here and really move things on again. But it is going to go at a slower pace, and I think I've come to terms with that and accepted that for me to have the next summer that I really, really want, I'm going to have to bite the bullet. And the other thing is, I've been filming all summer, but I haven't actually put any videos together at all. So I've spent 2 weeks learning a video editing system, and it's been quite frustrating, but actually the end result of my first video is quite creative and fun. That has motivated me, along with watching all the other people on YouTube that are renovating off-grid cabins and farmsteads and, you know, remote places out in Spain and Italy and everywhere. I just find it really, really motivating. Not only to feel like I'm not alone in my madness of wanting to do this, but just sharing in their process, and it just makes me really excited about sharing where I've got to so far. So I think the next 3-4 months is going to be useful to have those cold, dark winter evenings to get on, put some footage together and start sharing content on YouTube. And yeah, maybe I just need the pause that comes with winter. You know, that's what it's there for. It's all about slowing down and reflection and finishing. And it's something that I am really good at. I'm a finisher. I know this place will get finished. Actually, I don't ever want it to finish because I'm just loving it so much. But I'm sure there'll be a new project that comes at some point in the next few years, and I'll be ready to move on and do something else. But the whole point of this place for me really has just been enjoyment and pleasure and learning and yeah, just being outside as much as possible. Gosh, it's so good for your mental health to spend days outside, honestly. Spending a week inside in front of my computer in my office, staring at the screen. Poor. My body's twitching. I can feel my muscles in my body. I've worked really hard this year. The work here has been really physical, and it was hard at the beginning. I was tired. I couldn't really work for more than about 3-4 hours in a day. My legs ached. I was just physically exhausted. And bit by bit, as the summer's gone on, I've got more energy, I've got more staying power, and I can really work all day now physically. And by the end of the day, I'm tired, but I feel good. And I just don't want to spend my life sat down inside anymore. I think I've realised that more than anything, that's just really not how I want to live. So yeah, it's been a bit of a uninspiring week, but that is the fact. The fact of life is I'm really, really lucky to have this place. I'm really lucky to have a lifestyle that means that I can come here and just do a bit and then go back to a comfortable house, and I've got an income locally, and you know, it took us a while to get here and get set up, but you know, all of those factors mean that I can be here doing what I really want to do, but I do need to put some time into my job now, unfortunately. So c'est la vie, which can only be cushioned by eating a pain au chocolat and if you're really French, you're going to dip this in your coffee. Oh, it's delicious. This is the French equivalent of dipping a hobnob in a cup of tea. And if you don't know what a hobnob is, you're missing out. No sign of my wood cladding, by the way. No sign of it. It's life. It's life. It's going to come when it's going to come. And it'll be the right time for it to be done. And that's it. You have to give it up. Give up your planned time frame. Give up your what I want to do next. And just go with it. Because if you try and fight it, you're only going to get fed up for no reason. Because actually, does it matter that there's no cladding on the outside of the house right now? No. It's not hurting the house. It's all protected. In fact, all summer, one of the main motivations has been to get the house to a protected situation. And getting the roof on was just this amazing pressure that kept me going and doing all that horrible work. Get the roof on, get the roof on, get the roof on. As soon as you get the roof off, you need to get it back on again. And getting the roof on was a really pivotal moment because it did feel like closing that building and protecting it had been. You know, I've never changed the roof on any of the properties that I've owned. I've never had to go through that process, and it did feel really good to get it on. And putting the black wrap on also felt good because when you've worked really hard and then there's a massive rainstorm and you can see all of your wood cladding all disintegrating or your floor bubbling up because it's saturated in water is really unpleasant. So, you know, that was a great step forward. And even getting the terrace on, you know, it really felt like the main structure was finished, and I could have probably waited until next year to do that. But I'm really glad I did get it up and set up and protected. I do really feel like the house is starting to resemble the little sketch that I made from my imaginary plan, just a little pencil sketch that I made. It is actually coming to fruition, and that is incredibly satisfying.